Okay, today, hanging out with Jelly, we're going to try and assemble this right here, which is something I bought off of eBay. And that is what it's supposed to end up looking like. I ordered it a few days ago. I got it fairly quick. There's the box it comes in. And you can see what model it is. And by the way, I'm not miking up and I'm not using a tripod for this, or I'm not right now. There's a model number, but you can see right here where the auction now, whether it's a 40,000 BTU stainless steel pyramid propane gas tube dancing flames. Now, there's several on eBay that look real similar. I'm not sure you would have to buy that particular one to get this same design. And to start with, it comes with all this stuff. Of course, those batteries are from our Power Wheels. They don't go with it. And you may need one of those right there. It's a 24-pack. But there's the glass tube it came in. Everything was good. It's in styrofoam. It's packed very well. There's another box outside that I drug outside already. But here's the type of pieces you can expect. And you know something, it may be simple. It may not be. That's what this video is about. There's some rods that come with it. I think I'm videoing everything there is to know. There's the sides, and I mean the upper part of the sides, and then here are the lower part, and there's the top. So it looks pretty straightforward. There's no hardware. It kind of scared me. I'll show you something else in a minute, but I think that's going to be all the hardware is, in other words, already installed. You know, into the place it goes. I found that in more than one place. Right here, see? So I'm hoping there wasn't supposed to be a bag of hardware in there, because there was not. And in my case, in my instance, when it got here, it had this hole in the side. And those rods right there, one stick of them was actually sticking out. But they're not bent and they're not hurt. And I hope none of it's missing. All right, we're going to get to putting this thing together, and I'm not going to video the whole thing. I'm going to show you anything I think you need to know, and I'm going to follow these instructions right here. This is more or less to tell you if it's doable or if it's ridiculous. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'll give you a little idea of how it starts out. The very first step is to put the wheels on the bottom, which is a very nice feature, by the way. And it just has some small 10mm bolts that with some nuts on the back, and they're not nylocks. So something I picked up from the forklift industry is, I love this stuff right here. I mean, a lot of times it comes in blue and it comes in red, but this is the stronger, and I don't intend to pull these off. So this is like a chapstick. It never dries out. It lasts forever. And you just put some on the threads, and that'll keep, even if it gets loose, say they do, because there's a lot of force right here when you're using these, and say it breaks those loose, at least they won't fall off on the ground, and you'll be able to retighten them. But now I hammered them in with my impact, so they shouldn't get loose. And we're fixing to do a few more steps. I just wanted to start off with that. I kind of recommend it with a lot of things. If you don't have it, no big deal, but it's not a bad thing to have, because there's a lot of screws in this, and I like to use it on things that I think might get loose. It's something that's tweaked around and torqued a lot, you know. That happens. Anyhow, be right back. Okay, there may be a few steps I have to show. Here's your tank bracket. So you want this turned in this direction with the shiny side up. And then if you look, there's a lot of holes here. And they're wanting you to place these right here in these right here in 3 of these holes. Well, as you can see, there's 7 holes. But if you look, 4 of them are squared off. I'm not really sure. So I feel positive. I may be wrong, but I'm fixing to put them in these 3 that are kind of opposing on those triangular shape. And I think that's, just like I said, you put these in here, and this will just hold your tank. And you need it, because when you tilt it back to carry it, to roll it wherever you're going to store it, it keeps your tank from turning over. So anyhow, now you know. Okay, so far, so good. I would call that step 1. Or that's not step 1 in the book. It's got me to about right there, which is step 3. But fairly simple. I put it up on this stool because it's easier to get to some of this stuff. These 2 screws, and there's 2 screws in the front. There's a screw right here, and then there's 2 screws at the bottom. So you kind of got to reach under, and it is screwdriver pretty much. I couldn't hardly use my impact driver. There wasn't a way to get it in there real easy. But up on that stool, it works pretty good. Next step, I believe, is putting these right here on, and maybe the centerpiece right there or something. So that's the next step. And right now I'd say about a beer and a half so far. So it's not a big deal. It's not simple, but it's nothing. It's nothing. Anyone can do it so far. Be back. Okay, I do have a something you need to hear, because it doesn't mention in here, or maybe it does. But even though I noticed it, and this is how easy it is to do, I noticed it and had so much trouble getting this piece in there that I forgot. And what I'm getting at is this right here. Your door has to line up where your door sits, right here on these two holes, or those two slots, where that can sit right there. That side has to line up with those magnets. So that has to be, when you install this, you have to have it in the right position. And I mean, I was fixing to video it to tell before I was afraid I would forget to tell it in the video. But anyhow, I didn't video it. Well, I put it together and then do it. Well, I had so much trouble getting this in here, which I'm going to explain that in just a second too. I forgot. And somehow I got it 90 degrees off. I had it right here and had it completely assembled. Had to disassemble it and put it back together. But here's what happened. When I went to put this piece in, don't try and go in from the top. That's what I did for about, I don't know, 2 minutes. It took me a minute to figure out. Really all you do is drop it down here at the bottom and push it up to right there. And that makes it real simple. Coming in from the top don't work. The main thing is you have to do it all over again like I did. Line those sides up. Now you know. Okay, so it is a couple of days later, but I had other stuff I had to do. But the next step is complete, which is pretty much just putting on those uprights and then putting in that, which all fit, I would say, very well for, sheet metal. Sometimes you have issues, and I didn't. Now, one thing I will say that a lot of sheet metal does have is, if you see that red right there, that's blood, because that's just like a razor right there. They're very, very sharp, so be careful with that. But like I said, there's step, I'm not sure what step, but here's what I moved to, by the way. That was step 4 right here. There's where I was at. And we're going to go to putting, I got to put the glass tube in. First I got to put the burner in, and then the glass tube, and then the top. So anyhow, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so there it is, complete. And I just thought I'd show you a few things that, we've already went over one of them, which was make sure you line up these magnets with these slots so your door will go on, because that's the only side that has both of those. Another thing is, don't put the screws in here, which are these right here, by the way. They're these. Don't put these in on 3 of the sides. You can put them in on the side the magnets are on, because it doesn't matter there, but you need them out here. And be honest with you, if you tighten those screws down, I don't know what they do, and it's not particularly the Loctite I use. They're just hard to get out. They'll strip easy too. So just don't put them in. There's 2 screws in here inside that'll hold it together. You don't need those in there anyhow. All right, let's see what else. There's a couple of things. This was right here's how this works. You set these on, and they sit in this latch. If I can get it pointed out. There's 6 holes like this, and they just sit in there. When you set them, they got hooks, and they hang in. And what keeps those from coming out again is those retainers right there. And you'll see them when they come, and you might not know what they are. I didn't know what they were to begin with, but I figured it out. Because it doesn't show that in the manual, or I couldn't find it. There's in a little print, I couldn't see it, but it's just a retainer that keeps you from being able to lift these back up and where they would fall out. Let's see if there's anything else. Everything else went real well. I didn't have any problems. The glass tube went in good. You put the gasket, there's a rubber gasket that comes with it. It's on the bottom. Now I haven't lit it yet, of course, but I may try and do that later. But the main thing, if there was anything that was time consuming, it was pulling that cover off of this stainless steel. It was a little tricky. Hey, I'd say about 2 hours turning it on. And if you're gonna, drink a 6-pack, that's about what you need. If you're gonna drink beer and just kind of kick around, about a 6-pack. Not a bad deal. I mean, definitely for $200 and something. I really do. I remember these were $500 not long ago, and they did not look that good. I'm really impressed and kind of anxious to get it lit. Okay, there it is on high. By the way, it has a low setting. But it looks pretty good. For $200, I tell you, I think it looks really good, or just over 200. And it's fairly easy to put together. Like I said, a 6-pack, and maybe 2 hours. But I mean, it's got a good look. I think it looks great. I just do. And it'll soon be put up for winter, which is only maybe a month. So I got it. It's ready to go. I'll show you how to turn it down and how to light it, which is simply by removing this cover. And then in here, if you can see it, right there you can. There's your igniter, and here's your control. And that is low, by the way. I'll show you what it looks like from back. I don't know. I guess I might run it on that every once in a while. But it's as simple as that right there. You turn it to here, and you turn it to there. And then, by the way, if you want to turn it all the way off, like if everybody's going inside for a minute or whatever, you turn it down all the way to right there, which is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's common sense if you get one. And it leaves a pilot light going. And then if you do want to turn that off and say store it, you just turn it to right there. And then I'll show you to ignite it. And I'm not going to be able to do it because I've got the camera in my hand, but there's a red button right here. You put a battery in there, and you got a magneto start. And, well, if I didn't already heat it up real bad, I would show you. But I'm going to tell you, and I think you'll understand if you can see them. The wheels, in other words, the wheels I put on there, and I've moved it around already quite a bit. You just lean it back, and it rolls on those wheels. And you hold it by see if I can get where you can see it, right? You know, you hold it right there, or you hold it right here. I found if you grab this, you'll unlodge these wire protector screens that are just in there by hooks. They just hook in there and hang. And that's what those things are for, like I said before, that thing right there. But I still was able to dislodge that, and it came off in my hand while I was trying to move it one time. So I just don't move it that way anymore. I hold it on the sides. No big deal. Really good design. Again, less than $250, $225, whatever it was. I showed it was on the beginning. It's well worth it. I'm impressed. Hey, thanks for watching my video. And y'all come back to see me, come hang out with Jelly again. We'll have more stuff like this. Subscribe if you don't mind. I need some subscribers on this channel for sure. Hey, check out my other one. Go to jelly007.com on your browser, or just search hashtag jelly007 on YouTube, and I think you'll find me. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.